Keeping Quiet, a poem for class 12 from book FLAMINGO. Poem number 3. Keeping Quiet is a very short poem with very deep meanings. It looks very small, but it has message for the entire world, entire humankind. As the title itself says, keeping quiet. Quiet की स्पेलिंग देखें, QUIET मतलब शांत, और क्वाइट मतलब QUITE, क्वाइट मतलब बिल्कुल. You are quite tall, काफ़ी ऊंचे हो. He is quite smart, बहुत स्मार्ट है. वो अलग शब्द है, क्वाइट, उसकी स्पेलिंग अलग है. यहाँ कीपिंग क्वाइट अर्थात चुप रहना. चुप रहना पर भी कोई कविता हो सकती है और एक मैसेज हो सकता है. ऐसा मैसेज which has made this poem one of the best known poems of the writer. So here we are going to study this poem, and point to be noted here is we will learn a bit about the author. Thereafter we will go on to the summary of the poem, and thereafter the poem itself. Or rather simultaneously, the last will be the question answer, and while doing the poem itself, we will be learning the difficult words. In other words, unlike in previous chapters which have been done, where word meaning was a different section altogether, this time word meanings are a part of the very poem narration. The reason being that the words are extremely simple. There is hardly any word which you will find difficult as such. So इस कविता में हम शब्दार्थ को कविता के साथ ही साथ सीखेंगे, अलग से नहीं. उसकी ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, क्योंकि आप स्वयं पाएंगे कि कविता में ऐसे बहुत ही कम शब्द हैं जिन्हें इस कक्षा के बच्चों के लिए हम कठिन कह सकते हैं. So let's start with the poem Keeping Quiet, the writer. The writer is Pablo Neruda, a very, very famous writer in his times. So famous that he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, the highest award, the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. Born in Chile, which is a part of South America, in 1904, he died in 1973 at the rather young age of 69. But before his death, little before his death, he was honored with the highest award for literature in the world, the Nobel Prize for Literature. That speaks of the volume of the work, the depth of the work, the variety of the work that Pablo Neruda has done. And remember, as I said, he is from Chile, a very small country in South America, a continent which is normally known for issues like struggling for survival, issues like drug addictions, issues like poverty, indebtedness, etc., etc. ऐसी पृष्ठभूमि में पाब्लो नेरुदा का जन्म होता है 1904 में, जहां वो अपने चारों ओर घोर अंधकार पाते हैं. एक तो साउथ अमेरिका स्वयं, उसके अधिकतर देश पॉवर्टी के दौर से गुजर रहे, बैकवर्डनेस की दौर से गुजर रहे, ड्रग की समस्याओं से गुजर रहे थे. दूसरी ओर पाब्लो नेरुदा ने स्वयं ने प्रथम विश्व युद्ध को देखा है जो 1916-18 में हुआ था। तब वो मात्र 12-14 साल के थे। उन्होंने अपनी आंखों से द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध की विभीषिका को भी देखा है। He has also seen from his own eyes the tremendous losses that humankind suffered in the Second World War, the damages that it suffered all over the world in Second World War. और उन्होंने वो दौर भी देखा है जिसे हम शीत युद्ध और कोल्ड वॉर कहते हैं। कोल्ड वॉर, that was a period from 1945-50 to about 1990. And he lived during these three wars. And he has been a witness to many of the stories, many of the incidents that happened as a result of war that caused damage to society, that caused damage to environment and what not. इस पृष्ठभूमि में उन्होंने अपनी कलम चलाई and he wrote some of the best books and poems. Pablo Neruda, remember, is not his original name. It is his pseudonym, यानी उपनाम। pseudonym, PSEU, देख लीजिए, ये मैंने पिछले अध्याय में भी बताया है कि अंग्रेजी में pseudonym को उपनाम को pseudonym कहते हैं। तो उनका उपनाम था पाब्लो नेरूदा। जब हम पाब्लो शब्द की बात करते हैं तो एक और नाम बड़ा प्रसिद्ध सामने आता है। क्या आप बता सकते हैं? उस नाम का जिक्र भी दूसरे चैप्टर्स में किया गया था। वो थे पाब्लो पिकासो, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट नोन पेंटर्स ऑफ 20th century, like Pablo Neruda, one of the best known literature of the 20th century. Pablo Picasso, famous for painting, modern paintings. और यहाँ पाब्लो नेरूदा जो उनका उपनाम है वो साहित्य के लिए प्रसिद्ध है। उनका असली नाम था नेटाली रिकार्डो रेस बेसवाल्टो। नेटाली रिकार्डो रेस बेटवाल्टो, ये उनका असली नाम था। चिली में पैदा हुए। इनके कविताओं की खासियत ये है कि बड़ी सरल भाषा में लिखी गई हैं। जैसा मैंने आपको बताया कि कठिन शब्दों से बहुत दूर है इनकी कविताएं, क्लिष्ट भाषा से बहुत दूर है इनकी कविताएं। बहुत सरल शब्दों में उन्होंने लिखा है और इन सरल शब्दों से उन्होंने जो चित्र खींचा है वो दिमाग में बैठ जाता है। और सरलता के बावजूद इनकी कविताओं की सुंदरता में कोई कमी नहीं है। इन दिस पोएम he writes so simply, such a simple way that you can easily understand, you can make images out of what he has written, and this simplicity does not make this poem any less beautiful than any other poem of great writers. So much so that this poem, despite being so simple in words, despite being so short, is included in your curriculum in class 12, that to English literature, that speaks volumes. इस poem में क्या है? The poem that we are going to learn, we are going to study, titled Keeping Quiet. In this poem, Neruda talks about necessity of, number one, quiet introspection, second, peace, and third, creating a feeling of mutual understanding. शांति, आत्म निरीक्षण और स्वभाव, इस कविता का मुख्य उद्देश्य है। I repeat, talks about the necessity, इनकी ज़रूरत, शांति की ज़रूरत पर जोर देते हुए कविता लिखी गई है, आत्मचिंतन पर जोर देते हुए कविता लिखी गई है, और उसके साथ ही इस उद्देश्य से भी लिखी गई है कि इसके माध्यम से जो ह्यूमन काइंड है, मानव समाज है, इसमें एक दूसरे के प्रति सहभाव, सहयोग और समझ बढ़े. So with that aim in mind, we move on to the summary of the poem, or we move on to the poem and then on to the summary. So let's start with the poem itself. So here we go with the gist of it. What does the author want? He wants that there should be no war, because he doesn't want to see trucks laden with soldiers. He doesn't want to have any violent activity. He wants to promote universal brotherhood and peace. The poet says that everyone is working to achieve one's goals. हम लोग सब अपने लक्ष्य को पाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं. Everyone is working, no doubt. But working for what? Working for individual goal. And by doing so, people are threatened by working for his self-goal, for his family, for his own survival. He is threatening the environment. Working endlessly, working forcefully, working quickly, rushing from one end to another. And in this mad world, in this mad race for survival, man is forgetting its repercussions. Repercussions मतलब परिणाम, दूरगामी परिणाम. Man is forgetting its repercussions. So he intends to give a message that don't rush. Be steady, stand for a while, keep quiet and look within. Pablo Neruda further says that let us be happy about our achievements, no doubt. Let us celebrate them. But at the same time, we must overcome the fear of destruction, overcome the fear of survival, and relax for a while. When he says कि स्थिर हो जाओ, when he says don't rush, तो उसका अर्थ है रिलैक्स, कूल डाउन, थोड़ा शांत मन से सोचो. When the people will remain quiet, they will realize the purpose of their living. जब चुप होंगे तभी हम लोग महसूस करेंगे अपने जीवन का उद्देश्य, क्योंकि चुप रहने पर क्या होगा? आत्मचिंतन होगा, इंट्रोस्पेक्शन होगा. हमने क्या खोया, क्या पाया, ऐसा सोचेंगे. कहते हैं ना कि रात में सोने से पूर्व ये सोचें कि आज दिन में मैंने क्या पाया, बौद्धिक दृष्टि से, मानसिक दृष्टि से क्या पाया. उसी प्रकार लेखक कहते हैं कि थोड़ा रिलैक्स हो जाओ, इस भागम भाग से कुछ समय निकाल कर अपने लिए कुछ समय निकालो. And if you feel relaxed, remain quiet, then you will realize the purpose of living. Just like the nature undergoes rebirth, as I told you, cycle of life and death. Plants die, but not before reproducing the next series of next generation of plants. Animals die, but not before they reproduce the next generation of animals, of their families. So, rebirth with the change of season. Similarly, there must be a change of season in you. आपके में भी मौसम में कुछ बदलाव आया. अब ये शांत होने का मौसम है. If you remain quiet for a while, it will be a kind of rebirth for human soul. आत्मा का पुनर्जन्म होगा यदि आप आत्मचिंतन के लिए समय निकालें. Give time to yourself. So in the end, we can say that Keeping Quiet is a poem on peace by Nobel laureate Pablo Neruda. Laureate शब्द उनके साथ जुड़ा होता है जो नोबेल पुरस्कार विजेता कहलाते हैं। उन्हें अंग्रेजी में नोबेल लॉरिएट कहते हैं। And in this poem, the poet asks humanity to count number, which means to remain quiet, still for some time. Not much, for some time. He wants everyone not to speak the language, as it divides the society, as it creates gap, as it creates fission between the people. The moment when everyone stops moving their body, everyone stops moving his arms and tongue, that will be a very special moment, and it will make a lot of difference in our life. Such a moment which probably you and me would never have experienced, and that he calls as exotic moment. So this exotic moment will be the moment of introspection, will be the moment of turnaround in our thought process, and will definitely make you head for a better world. This is the summary of this poem. Don't forget that when he cites examples, when he talks about whale or salt, he does not mean only those who are killing whale. He does not mean only those people who are gathering salt, but he meant the whole lot of people who are working, the whole lot of people who are involved into one or the other activity, and activities for their own survival. The period of inactivity will see fishermen not harming the whale. The period of inactivity will see food gatherers not killing animals. The period of inactivity will see salt gatherers having a look at their hands which are badly bruised. It will also give time to the people to think, those people who are busy destroying the environment. It may give them a thought for new approach to life. जीवन को नए तरीके से सोचने का समय देगी. Even if you win wars, how does it matter? Survivors are not there. These wars are won with the killings of thousands and thousands of soldiers, destroying n number of families, and so it is causing harm to ourselves. And so Mr. Pablo Neruda calls upon the people that please ponder over your doings. To ponder over मतलब गहराई से सोचना, to think मतलब सोचना, और to ponder over मतलब गहराई से सोचना. तो कहते हैं please ponder upon your acts and realize the consequences of your actions, your deeds. When can you do that? When you count from 1 to 12. By this means what? By this means give some time to yourself. The poet clarifies that please do not be confused between the idea of inactivity and of death. They are two different things.